Welcome to the No Budget Indie Filmcast, where we dip into the independent film universe to highlight those little films that you might not have heard about elsewhere. We agree with our panel, or will our panel agree with each other? Tune in to find out. I am Milo Dennison, and with me, as always, is Claire Milan
Hello.
and Cathal Feeney.
Hello.
All right, Cathal, what did we watch this week?
This week we watched a film called Sing, or in the original language, which is presumably Hungarian, since it's a Hungarian film, Midenki, and it's directed by Kristóf Deák, Deak, written by Kristóf Deák and Bex Harvey and Christian Azzola, starring Dorka Gasparfalvi, Dora Tia Heiss, and Zofia Zamosi. There you go. Apologies.
I'm sure those pronunciations were spot on.
Yeah, I spent hours practicing beforehand. So the story, it is set in a school, and there's a young girl. She's joined a new school, and the school has a choir, a very good choir, and she wants to join, and she's allowed to join the choir. So she slots in and she starts singing away, and eventually, soon, she discovers a dark secret about the choir. Now, will I tell you what the dark secret is? Of course I will. Spoiler alert and all that. So she is drawn. She was pulled out at the end of the first practice session by the teacher, choir master, and asked to sing for the teacher. And then the teacher kindly asks her not to sing again and mime in future. So, poor devastated girl, she goes away, and for some reason she comes back and she stands there and she starts to mime instead of actually singing. And then it turns out that she's not the only one. Anyway, that's the kind of the basic, the setup of the story. It's actually won the best live action short in 2017 at the Oscars. And it's a good sort of morality tale. It's brilliantly shot, as you might expect from an Oscar winner. Two very nice central performances by the young girls, and the teacher, she was excellent as well. The sort of the Disney type baddie. So very enjoyable. And I don't know, guys, what do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's probably a bit long. That's the only thing. It was as you said, a beautifully shot. Those little girls, they're absolutely fantastic actors. And just so natural. So yeah, I was trying to figure out what country it was at the start. So I'm not familiar with Hungarian. I did think it was from Scandinavia, but it is Hungarian. And I think it's set in the past at some point, isn't it? It's not set in the present day. And yeah, it was just a beautiful tale. And I felt so sorry for the girl when her teacher said not to sing. It was like heartbreaking. And she couldn't tell her friend, and the whole relationship with the friend then. And then when the spoiler alert, like the other people were told not to sing as well, it was heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. And I was so invested in the story. And it's a beautiful, well-written, well-acted, and brilliantly filmed. And no wonder it won the Oscar as a 2017, which is well deserved.
Yeah, it's interesting because I moved schools a lot when I was a kid, and so I could totally relate to her like nervousness and anxiety about being the new student and stuff, and like what do people think of you and that kind of things. And so you could see that going in her performance, which was really nice. And then to get to the class and to be like, okay, yeah, I get to sing in a choir, and then have the teacher be the one that like puts you down, like has gotta you just be soul crushing. And so she did such a good job with portraying that in her performance, and which was really nice. And I thought it was interesting too, according to IMDb, this is actually inspired by a true story. So I'm curious how truthful and stuff. But I could see that. I mean, because teachers, they're all humans as well, and maybe a teacher at some point was so obsessed with winning that they would actually tell students, you know what, just don't sing and mime along and
I
stuff.
used to
So
do that
it was interesting.
in choir class. I'd mime sometimes, mime singing. Do you know?
Mm.
Oh wow, this is all revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that it would sound different, with so many not singing,
Yeah.
to the trained ear. I mean, if a trained ear can pick out that somebody's off key, they can surely pick out that half the choir aren't singing. Um, and I just thought, looking into it a little bit deeper, that it was allegorical in a way that there was like a certain number of them, weren't singing, but they were, for the most part, they were unknown to everybody else. So
Mm,
you can imagine this idea in a society, that you have the haves and the have-nots, and the have-nots are kind of, um, they're separated, and they're unaware of each other, so they can be easily controlled. And as soon as they realize, actually there's loads of us here, and then the haves kind of join in as well. So it's the power of the many, can defeat the few. And I actually read, I was listening to something recently, and in ancient Rome, there was thousands and thousands of slaves, and the idea was sort of proposed one day that they should wear a certain outfit, a certain color, so they could be identified. But then it was also pointed out then that if they were, they could see each other, and they would know how many of them there were. So it was knocked on the head.
interesting. Yeah, you
Oh.
could apply this to a lot of things in life. Like,
Yeah.
people being the chosen ones, the good ones, and then the people being not. It's interesting. The girl who is the brilliant singer wasn't like one of those precocious children who thought she's brilliant, and everyone, she's like, right, I want to sort this out.
Yeah.
It was just lovely that it was like that kind of tale, rather than, oh look, I'm so brilliant, and she shared her love for music, or her family's love for music, with the girl who thought she couldn't sing, and she could sing. She could
Wasn't
sing.
that
That's the
bad?
thing.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not up to the teacher's level. Yeah, I think the reality would be, yeah, the ones that are good at it would then, make fun of the ones that weren't good at it. They
Mm,
certainly wouldn't all team up against the teacher,
no,
and like
I don't think
that's
they do that.
that's what school's
Yeah.
really like.
Well,
So it's a little,
it depends on the child, like how precocious or obnoxious they are, really. You could kind of imagine. I mean, you mentioned that it's inspired. I wonder how far the inspiration went, like in real life, because it is a sort of a typical feel-good Hollywood ending that appeals to pulls at the heartstrings, Uh,
yeah, I imagine the ending's definitely not probably inspired by real life. It wouldn't meant
No,
I'd imagine
no.
it's probably maybe just one or two students were
Oh
told
yeah.
not to sing in
But
real
there
life
would
or
be
something.
smart people in the class who said, no, I'm going to sing. Because children are naturally like that. Most children,
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh, well, yeah. We'll have to find it
Have
somehow.
you ever been
You
in
never
choirs
know.
when you were younger? Have you ever been in school choir or anything? No, you never in a school choir. We did
No, I did.
competitions and
I did
everything.
theater, but not
Did you?
choir. And
Oh,
I can't sing, so I probably should have done choir. Maybe I could sing a little better if I had done choir, but no.
it was funny because we were preparing for these competitions. We had to do choir every week, and we had all the things, and like the different singing things, styles and little bits coming in here, like what she was doing. That was what we used to do.
Yeah. And did you do that throughout secondary school, or?
Yeah, I tried secondary school. We had to do it, and then we went to the competition. We didn't get anywhere,
All
so
right.
we spent so long working on those songs.
But you must have a half decent voice now, then, do you?
I suppose I wouldn't be a massive singer, like I wouldn't be a confident singer at all. It's something I never really explored at all,
Yeah.
So I don't know
But
really.
like, if you did it in your kind of formative years, yeah,
Yeah,
you must have
I
the
must have some sort
potential.
of voice. I wouldn't be Celine Dion now, or
Yeah, not
you
now,
know,
maybe.
you know.
Yeah, maybe
But
so.
But it's funny because
Have
I
you
know we
ever?
had to do singing and acting school as well. And I was so proud of myself. I spent 3 days working on Maybe This Time from Cabaret with a backing track. And when we had to do our showcase, the girl played another backing track.
Oh,
It was apparently there was 2 backing tracks, the same song, and she played the other one. And I spent 3 days working on the wrong backing track.
Maybe this time. No, not this time.
Maybe this time. Not going to work.
She played Maybe Next Time, did she?
Yeah, probably. I was like, I didn't even tell her. I don't know why I said stop. It was the other track I learned the song to.
Just we got to the teacher. She was very good as well. And
Oh, she's very good. Yeah. I wonder what year was this based in? It was
It
based.
says, yeah, I was wondering that too, because it says it was made in 2016, but it looks like it was many years before that.
Yeah.
Especially that opening stuff with when she's going to the school and they're walking around, it has a very old look to it,
Oh,
and you can even
extremely.
see in the picture behind you with their wardrobes and stuff.
Yeah. Like
So
post-communist, like communist kind of nearly. It looked like a doctor, didn't he? I thought it was a
yeah,
mental
that's what I
hospital
thought.
at
I
first.
thought the reveal was going to be she's actually in a hospital
Yeah, I
or
was like,
something
oh,
and then they kept on going and it was like, okay, well, I guess she's not in a hospital, but he's wearing a doctor coat for some reason.
yeah.
well, I don't want to comment on it because it could be contemporary for all we know. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I've been to Budapest.
Right.
Modern city.
Yeah, I mean, everybody smokes cigarettes everywhere you go, which was kind of annoying. But other than that, it looked reasonably modern. Although I didn't go to any schools. I was there for a film festival.
Maybe
But
this is more of
yeah.
a rural setting somewhere.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And even
Well,
with
and she had that
Steve,
secret room that she took her friend to that would look like it was like an old barn room or something like that. I
yeah.
don't know if it was a secret room, but remember they had that little room that they went to and hung out in, like at the girls' home.
I think that was a tree house, was it?
Is that what it was? A treehouse?
think it was
I
a
was thinking it
treehouse.
was like a barn or a shed.
Or maybe it's a barn, maybe. Yeah. And even the teacher's haircut was very
Mhm.
like communist looking or
Dated.
something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it could have been because I suppose they were quite excited about going to Sweden, and Sweden would have
Yeah.
been seen as almost an acceptable European country, very, very left wing. So it was a chance for the teacher probably to get out and see a bit of the world. So you could well be right.
Yeah. Don't know. But either way,
Mm-hmm.
it won an Oscar.
Yeah.
And they got to go to the US.
Yeah. And they got to go to the US
Art
exactly to
imitating
accept
life.
their award.
Yeah. So we do the ratings.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. Claire, you want to go first or you want me to go?
So for me, the acting, brilliant acting, beautiful story, and those little girls were just absolutely fantastic. It was a little long, for a short film, but I still loved it. I'm going to give it 4 stars.
Yeah, I agree. It's beautiful, well written, great acted, but it is, especially the lead up is a bit long. They definitely could have cut some time down at the beginning of the film, I think. So I'm going to go 4 stars as well. It's a very nice film.
Okay, well, I didn't think it was too long. I think that's often a complaint. There's two complaints. Then it can be too short or it could be too long. And I think
We're just never happy, are we?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was in the Goldilocks film because it gives you a chance
Yeah.
to flesh it out a bit and let the story kind of evolve. And I liked it for all the reasons I've already said. So I'll give it 4.5 stars.
All right. Well, there you have it, No Budget Audience. We enjoyed this film. It's called Sing or Midenki. If you want to check it out, let us know what you think. You can reach us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at No Budget Show, or leave a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. And until next time, we'll see you and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.